Hey there photography friends, my name is Henry and on this YouTube channel I share the behind the scenes of my photography adventures.
Look what landscape photography does to us.
Some tips and tricks.
Then we've got the line coming in.
And of course, a little bit of banter.
Get a look at that.
Currently releasing one video per day over the Advent period. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that little notification bell so that you don't miss any of these uploads. Now let's get into today's video.
So welcome back to the channel, ladies and gents. I am currently en route to an absolute classic photography destination. It's one that I haven't been to for years and I am very, very excited to return. So stick with me. I think it will be an absolute peach. Oh man, they've got these new 20-mile-an-hour speed limits in the towns through Wales. It's probably a good thing safety-wise, but man, to drive, it just feels so slow. Well, that's the secret gone as well. We're in Wales. Oh, so this is incredible. I'm not even where I need to be yet. I'm still about 10 minutes drive, and you know what? I really haven't got that much time, but I've just had to pull over on the side of the road here. Look at that. Oh, the wind's blowing and everything. It's incredible. We've just got such amazing light looking back towards Snowdon or Whitford, looking unbelievable. So literally jumped out of the van, 200mm, and just taking anything that I can back in that direction. It's going to be high contrast. I've got it in shutter priority. Main reason is I just need a quick shutter speed because that is so far away. It's blowing a gale and I'm struggling to keep the camera still as I'm taking it. But I mean, what a first photograph, and so unexpected. Wales never ever fails to deliver on the drama front, does it? Look at this. Oh, that was so unexpected, that little stop in the van. What a beast. So it's a delight to be back here. We're in the Ogwen Valley in Snowdon here. I am buzzing, man. I am so buzzing. And this is such a cracking location. It is a delight. It is a joy to photograph. There's just a big stream running down from this hillside that you can see here. And then of course you get that as a backdrop, and then Llyn Ogwen over there you can perhaps see. Oh, what a treat. Wow, look at this. It's daft, isn't it? It's so beautiful. So this is absolutely an old favourite for me. This is a photograph that I got, I don't know, man, I want to say like 4 years ago, a long old time ago, and I reckon that particular image was a little bit of a, oh, wow, can you see that? That is quality, man. God knows what they are, but they look cool. But yeah, that photograph was a little bit of a aha moment for me, I think, where I reckon it was probably the first photograph that I was pure delighted with, you know. And it's weird because I look back at that image now and I see a lot of mistakes. Yeah, it's a nice image, but I'd say mistakes, whoa, is maybe a little bit harsh. It's more like things that I would do differently now as a photographer. So for me, it feels a tiny little bit unbalanced. The shadows are very, very dark. And it's maybe a bit oversaturated. I suppose these are things I could change in post-production if I've still got the raw file, but I don't know, man. I seem to be on a little bit of a nostalgia trip at the minute, and I'm loving every second of it. And you know what? Yes, this is an absolute classic landscape photography location. I suppose I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So I was going to grab another image with the tree, but I'm just going to leave it. I think I'm going to pick my bag up and just walk like upstream a little bit more, and yeah, I just try and find something different. The mint thing about this location even though it's really well photographed, is this stream here is massive, and there are so many different cascades, so many different opportunities for foreground interest. All right, the background is often going to be the same if you're taking that photograph, but yeah, you can add a little bit of originality to it. But this is just the thing, like, I think this is a bit of a repetitive one, it's a cycle, but I think it's so important to remind ourselves that we have to photograph what we want to photograph. You have to photograph what you want to photograph. It doesn't matter, for the most part, what anybody else thinks, because it's all emotion based, isn't it, right? So you have to feel a certain emotion about what you're photographing. If that's classic locations, so be it. There's no moral high ground about going out and photographing original images all the time. For the most part, for me, I do like doing that because that's my own personal preference. But if you want to go out and shoot hotspots for the rest of your life, goodness me, man, go out and do that. If that's what gets you excited, if that's what gets your heart beating, if that's what gets you outdoors with your camera, 100% go and do it. But I think for beginners, if you're watching this now, that is perhaps the most valuable lesson. You've got to always fight to photograph exactly what you want to photograph, whatever that is. Even if it's a mad little niche of you only want to photograph like abstract black and whites or something, go out and do it, man. Don't let your photograph be ruled by what other people want to see, you know. Especially if you're posting on social media and stuff like that. If I'm being honest, I'm all right with it now, but I think I've found it difficult sometimes over the years because I've got this YouTube channel. I post on social media a lot, and you know, it's nice to get feedback on certain photographs, and it's nice when people like your photographs, but I think even if everybody else hates your images, as long as you like it, that's all that matters, isn't it? Wow, look at this drama up here now. So, wow, that's incredible. Incredible. Yeah, so I'm gonna head a little bit further up this hill. Definitely keep my eyes on that. So I really hope you can hear me okay. There is so much water here, but it is brilliant for the photography. So I've come a little bit further up now, and I've just found a more than suitable, beautiful, huge section of cascades here. I am buzzing. Wide angle lens on the front, straight into 14mm, polarizer on, 3-stop ND filter on, and then we have got that magnificent backdrop there of Trefan and Llyn Ogwen. Now, I've sort of rushed around a little bit, and the reason is because the sun was sort of just peeking over the top to the right-hand side of Trefan, and it was beautiful. And we actually had, honestly, only like 2 or 3 minutes ago, this area down here was just kind of bathed in all of this subtle light as the sun was just disappearing behind the ridge of those mountains there. So it's a little bit tricky technically. I want a 1/8 of a second shutter speed very, very specifically for this moving water here. It's a little bit quicker than I'd usually shoot, but this water is a little bit quicker than what I would usually shoot. So that seems perfect. Little bit of a focus stack, not sure if I'll use it, but just in case. And then I took one image at about f20 for the background, because like I said, that sun was just peaking above the ridges up there, just in case there's any chance of a tiny little bit of a sunstar. But at the very least, we had a beautiful glow coming from the top of the image. Wow, look at this, man. All these cascades. It is just never ending. Right, I'm going further up that way. Actually, I say that, I think I'm lying to you, because I've always been so fixated by that stream. I am rushing around, I'm shattered. I've always been so fixated as that as foreground interest, just like I've been saying really. But look at this. Look at these beasts, absolute massive boulders. Even, whoa. See, there's like a dry stone wall just peeking off in the distance over there. It's all going on. So I've actually never seen, of course people have photographed these before, but I've never seen them. So it's nice actually. And you know what? This is cool because I honestly didn't mean this to, but this brings me on so nicely to the next thing that I wanted to talk about you know, what we should photograph as photographers, how we should stick to photographing what we want to photograph, right? Wow, look at that little gap. This is unreal, man, what a treat. Wow, this is brilliant. Oh my gosh, what a treat. Look, we're getting some mist and low-hanging cloud up on the mountains now as well. Oh, what a treat. I swear to you, that was not there like 2 or 3 minutes ago. Things are changing so quickly. So first things first, I was going to include this big rock down here in the foreground and have kind of this rock, the big rock, and then obviously the background, but I just felt like it was a little bit too much. So I dismissed it quite quickly and thought, you know what, let's keep this simple. Big, massive, beautiful rock formation on the right-hand side. So much character. Llyn Ogwen in the middle, and then Tryfan, and all this beautiful mist as it is right now. Very simple composition. And yeah, kept a wide-angle lens on. However, I am zooming in slightly to about 18 millimeters, just so I can like perfect the composition. Really, I'm just looking at the edges of the image. I just want to make sure the crop is correct here out on location. That's something that I always try and do. And then, yeah, like I said, there really is nothing to this. This is absolutely one of these photographs where it's all about being in the right place at the right time. Look at that drama up there to the right-hand side of Tryfan, up towards the glitters. That is just incredible. So, settings, we are on 1/8 of a second, f11, and ISO 64. What a find! Unreal, man, unreal. I tell you what, let me just get around this rock so I can try and show you. Everything has gone so blue, and oh my gosh, look at it. Look at all of that mist and drama. That is so exciting. Honestly, man, this has come out. I mean, you've seen it before. It was actually quite pleasant. The wind's picked up. I'm feeling a little bit of gentle drizzle. It's kicking off. It's kicking off is what's happening. So I was going to have a little look at the dry stone wall, but all of these incredible blue tones here have just inspired me to, I don't know, take a photograph like this little beast, the one I showed you earlier. I don't know why. I ain't going to photograph that tree again. But yeah, I just, I'm in the mood for like the mood and the gentle blue tones. Perhaps I'll stick around during the blue hour. Oh, this place is just an absolute bog fest, man. Look at it. But yeah, we'll head up a little bit further. There's some beautiful looking cascades up there, you can probably see. And just keep looking. And I do want to talk as well about, you know, photographing the classics versus photographing, taking original photographs, blah, blah, blah. Because this is the point that I wanted to make, really. You know what, this might be a little bit of a bold statement, it probably is, but I reckon, I feel comfortable in saying that that is easily one of the best views in Britain. That is just absolutely insane. No matter the drama that you get in Scotland, the beautiful quaint areas of the Lake District, I'd say that that right there is hard to beat. So like I was saying just before I got that image with the big massive rock, I think there's a point that I really wanted to make in this video about photographing the hotspots versus taking your original images, whatever you want to call it. And that is, for me, it's really good to have a mixture. And if you're just starting out with your photography, I think shooting the hotspots, honestly, is brilliant because I did it. And that's the experience that I had, and I learned so much by going to places where, I mean, let's face it, compositions are pretty much sorted for you. So for me, it was like a real fast track to understand the technical side of photography and loads of other things about going out to different places. You know, it's not all just about the photography itself. And that was a really important part of the learning curve for me. But at the same time, and without sounding too contradictory, I suppose, I also wouldn't want to tell somebody that's just getting into landscape photography that they should only go to the hot spots. I do think it's really important to go out to places like your local area and find your own little photographs. You know, not to say that an image from here wouldn't be your own, of course it would, but you know what I mean, like find something original, because for me, it's like a different type of growth when you go out and look for something with your own eyes, find something with your own eyes, and you get a lot of pride from that as well. And I do think that it also really helps to develop your own style as a photographer, you know. But please drop some comments down below. I'd love to know your opinions on this whole thing. Like, I know it's a bit of a cycle, like I said. It is, ultimately, it's a never-ending debate, isn't it? But it's something that's very prevalent in the landscape photography community, because locations like this are always going to be here. Anyway, big cascades down here, big mountain scene in the background. You know what's brewing. So I'm just grabbing a quick image from here, really. To be honest, I don't really think this is going to be the shot. I don't know, man. You know, when there's just something about the composition that you're not too sure on, but you don't really know what it is. Something just doesn't feel quite right. I think there might be way too much water. I've chosen too much of a big cascade. I've just gravitated towards it, but I'll try it anyway. I'm actually shooting this at 1/15 of a second, which is really quick of a shutter speed for me for photographing moving water. But I mean, this, look at how quick it's going, man. I have to. So f11 and ISO 1600, that's the image there. It's, to be honest, looking at this scene, it's probably still a really nice image, but now you're looking at the photograph, hopefully you can see what I mean. I just think the water is maybe a little bit too overbearing on the right hand side, even with that majestic shape of Trefan and all of that mist. Wow, that is insane. Look at it go. But yeah, I'm just going to go a little bit further down and maybe see if I can find a little bit of a quieter cascade, let's say. Wow, so, oh my gosh, man, this is incredible. You may be able to see, look, whoa, this is blowing my mind. Up at the tops of Trefan, the glitters, everything really over there is just starting to go pink. It's incredible. So if you maybe look in that direction, I don't know if you're able to see, but it's going a lot more pink over there. This is just the remnants, really. Oh, it is beautiful. I mean, maybe it's just my eyes, but even the water is going like a bit of a pinky glow down here. It's beautiful. It's like a strip across the peaks, and I mean, look at the state of all of that drama. I mean, if this isn't a reason to come out and shoot the popular locations, what is? At the end of the day, it is a huge cliche in the world of landscape photography, but these places are popular for a reason. Friggin' look at it, man. It's unbelievable. I would never, ever, ever want to, like, convince a beginner to miss out on experiences like this, because look at it. Look what it does to us. It's incredible. So, for this photograph, it's a little bit tricky. So I say tricky, it's probably not tricky as much. It's so dark here now. You probably can't even tell by looking over there, but honestly, it's so dark, and I've just got to bump my ISO up to around about 2,000, 3,200, something like that, because I need to have a shutter speed of 1/5 of a second. I'm being so fussy with it. I think the water looks the best at 1/5 of a second, and that's that, and I'm at f9. And then, yeah, I've just found this one particular beautiful cascade down here that's, yeah, a little bit smaller, a little bit quieter than the previous one, but it's still big enough that it's holding its own against the beautiful mountain backdrop there. And you know, that was really, really important to me. I didn't want something really small in the frame. Again, probably referring to what I was saying at the start of the video about that image, that older image. It just felt a little bit unbalanced, and that's something that I'm really fussy about now as a landscape photographer. But yeah, this is pretty much exactly what I had in mind. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. It's got so dark so quickly. So I am headed back to the van, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm off to find a pub to have a nice meal this evening. I'm soaking wet as well. Just been sat down in a load of boggy grass for about an hour. Anyway, oh man, thank you so much for tuning in. What a wonderful, exciting, thrilling adventure. I really hope you enjoyed it, and as always, do hit the subscribe button to follow me along on the Advent series. There's still a good few to come right up until Christmas Eve. Hit the little notification bell so that you know when they're coming out. You get a little notification, and thank you so very much for tuning in and for your continued support. Drop some comments down below about the topic of today's video. Like I said, it's another interesting one really, isn't it? And yeah, I shall see you on the next adventure. Out.